regarding the question, is there evidence that supports the Bible? There's a ton of evidence that supports it. We got evidence from Bible manuscripts, from archaeology, and Bible prophecy and its fulfillment. When you look at the Bible manuscripts, there's over 5,700 early partial and full Greek manuscripts for the New Testament Bible dating back to the early 2nd century. Now that's a lot of manuscripts, especially when compared to the next best contender from ancient literature, Homer's Iliad, with just 643 manuscripts. Pound for pound, there's no comparison really. 5,700 for the New Testament, and the Iliad has just 643. If you look at some of the best manuscript counts for the great historical works, the works of Aristotle, 49 manuscripts, Tacitus, 20 manuscripts, and the entire works of Plato, only 7 manuscripts. And these manuscript numbers are not even close to the 5,700 for the New Testament. And Plato's taught in universities and schools around the world as a historical philosopher. The point here is that if we're going to accept these other works as reliable history based on the number of manuscripts, then the New Testament should get the same go-ahead nod and acceptance as well. And the New Testament manuscripts are more consistent, they're more accurate, and they're closer to the original writing. You have the John Rylands fragment of John dating at 112 AD. It's been said that nearly every time a shovel hits the dirt in the Holy Land, an artifact surfaces that supports the Bible. Now, I've been to Israel and I've interacted with a lot of this stuff. There's King Hezekiah's tunnel. I've rolled up my pants and put a flashlight on my head and walked through it. And that tunnel, the discovery, verifies King Hezekiah from the Old Testament. You have King Cyrus, who's been verified, people groups such as the Hittites and the Moabites. And one I like a lot is an ancient stone inscription that mentions the house of David in reference to King David's kingdom in ancient Israel. And the list goes on for Old Testament archaeology. And taking a look at the New Testament, there's a stone inscription confirming that Pontius Pilate was a ruler at the time of Jesus, supporting the Bible's claim that Christ was sentenced to death by Pilate. My favorite is YOHAN, the 1st century crucifixion victim, that proved crucifixion was a method of capital punishment used in Jesus' time. So this is just scratching the surface of the numerous Bible passages, places, and people that have been supported by archaeological discoveries. There are at least 300 or more clear, specific prophecies that predicted the coming Messiah in the Old Testament. They were made hundreds, even thousands of years before Jesus came on the scene, and Jesus fulfilled each and every one of these prophecies exactly. And it's just incredible when you think about it. It's just totally miraculous that one man would fulfill all of these. Now, when you look at the odds that Christ beat by fulfilling just 8 of these prophecies, and a summary of the 8 used for this study is Jesus being born in Bethlehem, his being announced by John the Baptist, the exact time and way he would enter into Jerusalem, his being betrayed by Judas for 30 pieces of silver, and the silver being used to buy a potter's field, and of course his death by crucifixion, spoken of in Psalm 22, verse 16. The odds of one man fulfilling these 8 prophecies is 1 in 10 to the 17th power. That's 1 in 10 with 17 zeros after it. It's practically against the possible odds, and that's just for only 8 prophecies. If you take 48 of those prophecies, the odds of one man fulfilling them are 1 in 10 to the 157th power. And when you think to win the Mega Million lottery is 1 in 175 million chance, that pales in comparison to these other huge numbers. People say that no ancient historian that was a non-Christian mentioned the Bible. That's not true. You have Josephus, Tacitus, and Pliny all mention Jesus, Christianity, and times, people, and places in the Bible. So that's just a false rumor against the Bible. So you take that and these against all odd prophecy fulfillments combined with the evidence from the New Testament manuscripts and the archaeological support, it makes for what I believe to be a strong case for the Bible and Christianity. So if you're a Christian, this information should, boost your faith a little bit, or a lot. And if you're thinking of becoming a Christian, I just wanted you to know that it's not a blind faith at all, but it's a faith firmly founded on facts.